More laughter.
Tama po, tama.
More fun.
Here. Dude. Again, just a plug.
More LAC. Only here on INCRadio Los Angeles.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone tuning in today. My name is Sister Jalen, coming to you from the local congregation of Eagle Rock. And welcome once again to INCRadio Los Angeles here in our satellite studio. I am not by myself this morning, but I do have my lovely guest and co-host, Sister Bree Andrade. Good morning, Sister Bree.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all who are tuning into INCRadio Los Angeles. As Jalen mentioned, I am today's guest, today's co-host, I am very lively. I'm very excited for today's broadcast, where we'll be discussing something. But in regards to that, I hope you all remembered last week's broadcast, because last week was also a very good one. We had many guests. It was very nice. And what we promised last week, this is why I'm mentioning it, is that we will have our CFO in action, which will help recap all the highlights that we weren't really able to show, because we had so many amazing guests who did so many amazing talks. All the answers were great last week. So if you did not watch that, make sure to go watch that, and make sure to continue to subscribe to our INCRadio YouTube channel, because then you'll get to know when we're live, when you are going to watch INCRadio Los Angeles, and you get to furthermore tune in to last week's broadcast, which was really good. I'm going to keep re-emphasizing that. But besides last week's broadcast, where we talked about our Songs of Salvation and choral competition, we have, of course, a new topic today that obviously I don't know about, because I'm just confused. I mean, I'm not the guest and co-host. Yeah. To Jalen, what is today's topic?
Okay, Sister Bree, thank you. I had to let you go a little bit on that one. I just wanted to hear you out on that. But yes, so we do have another guest for today. Very lively, very fun, very loving. You've seen her, you love her. It is Sister Bree. And actually, we are talking about BREE'S Creamery today. Basically, Sister Bree makes her own ice cream, everyone. So we're going to get a little piece, or a little, at least we'll get to know and understand how this all came about. But Sister Bree, what is BREE'S Creamery?
Well, Bree's Creamery is my little small business that I do have. I sell ice cream. That's a good one. I sell ice cream. So if you like ice cream and you want to try some it's homemade ice cream. So I turn it all myself. I don't just go to the store, buy ice cream, and then sell it to you. I do make everything from scratch. But yeah, so if you're interested in trying homemade ice cream, I can assure you it's very different from what you can buy in a store. So let me know. I'm always open to orders. I feel like people forget that I'm always open to orders.
I feel like every time I see you, I bring it up. And I think over the summer, I did bring it up a lot. But because we were so busy over here, I don't know if we were able, I don't know. Did you actually have any orders this summer?
No, I did not. I did make ice cream a few times for personal reasons, because I love homemade ice cream, but I did not get too many orders this year. But maybe after this broadcast, brethren, you can place an order.
So did this start as a hobby, or who encouraged you to actually start actually selling, right? Because you said that you do like making ice cream. Was this always just something that you've done and you just woke up one day and you were like, oh, maybe I should sell it because it's actually very good? But, from your perspective, how did this come about?
Well, to be honest, it all kind of started that my mom wanted to see me make homemade ice cream. So we bought this ice cream churner. And it just came as a simple attachment to my stand mixer. So then I made homemade ice cream, and I'm like, this is so good. Whatever recipe I used, this was really good. And it's very, like what I said, it's very different from like what you buy in the store or what you can get like, well, you can probably get in other ice cream places too, but I do make it like by hand, and I think it just tastes so much better than whatever you could buy at the store. It's like, I not to prey on anyone's downfall, but this ice cream is really good. So then it encouraged me all the more to maybe give it to other people. Of course, it does take a lot of effort, a lot of time, some portion of money to make this ice cream. So then not just giving it away. And I did start by just giving it away to a few people, especially like our people in our local, like resident ministers, workers within our district, and they all seem to love it. And I just wanted to share it all the more. So selling it was a great way to do that.
Is this just seasonal? So do you only do it over the summer, or you're open to doing ice cream all year round?
If you want ice cream, let me know. That's all I'm gonna say, because it really is like, let's face it, in California, we don't have one summer, because we did have summer, we had a week of fall, and now we're back to summer, as we're going to learn more about in our State of West weather report later on in our broadcast. But we are reaching those higher temperatures again, and it's never too cold in California unless we're like in the true winter. I say it's really warm year round. So if you are in the mood for ice cream year round, then you know where to get your ice cream. That's really good and not store bought. It's me. Yeah.
I agree. So, in addition to all of these ice creams that we're talking about, do you have like your favorite ice cream flavors in addition to like the most requested flavors?
I personally really like, um, depends. I'm a very like chocolate person or a very like fruity person. So I make this brownie ice cream that is chocolate ice cream with my homemade brownies, which are also very, really good. So that is a great flavor combination. That is one of my favorites.
I do love Brees brownies.
Yes, they're very good. And if you mix it with Bree's Creamery's chocolate ice cream, it's so good. Anyway, I haven't made it in a while. That's also why I'm kind of like freaking out, because I'm just like, oh, that sounds so good right now. Maybe I'll make it after this broadcast. But besides like the chocolatey flavors, I also do really like more fruity ones. So especially if fruits are in season. So I love when strawberries are in season. Good strawberry ice cream. I love strawberry ice cream as well. But I also love a good mango ice cream. I make a good one as long as the season calls for mangoes and like they're just ripe and they're perfect. When I add them to my ice cream base, it tastes great. And then I know that a few people have tried it, because it's so hard to get these mangoes like ripe enough and in season. So then it's very like limited window that you can get this mango ice cream. So if it's in season and you know the mangoes are in season, you know to find mango ice cream with me.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I think Korea Tech also, we have the list of the most requested flavors from Sister Bree's Creamery. And in addition to that, as we continue to talk about the topic of ice cream, I want to know what everyone's favorite flavors are in the comments below if they're not on this list. I know that Sister Bree, like you said, you make a whole bunch of different flavors depending on what's available for those seasons and all those things like that. So I know you kind of touched on this a little bit. So what inspired you to learn how to make ice cream? I know that your mom said that she wanted you to try it, but like, did this just all come about like kind of randomly, or was it just because your mom loves ice cream and she wants you to make ice cream? You know what I mean? Like, how did this inspire you?
I also really wanted to try to make ice cream. It seemed very simple at the time when I was like looking up recipes. It's not as simple as I thought it was, but it is very like, I know how to do it. I've really honed my craft, so I can make the ice cream very easily now, and I can say it is a lot easier than when I first started. But I was really inspired to make new desserts because I do love desserts. I love making desserts. I'm very good at making desserts, but ice cream is very much one of those ones that you don't really think about. You think about like making it in those bags of ice with salt, and then you shake it, and then you get ice cream, like those science experiments. But that's obviously not how you get ice cream every day. Not everyone's just shaking bags of ice to make ice cream. So I wanted to learn more myself about how to make ice cream, especially because it was during the time of COVID. So then I was very bored, and I just wanted to find something new to make because I was kind of running out of things to bake in my kitchen and running out of oven space. So, why? And I don't need an oven for ice cream, so it was perfect.
You do not, but your other desserts are also very good as well. Might I plug? Maybe we have to move Bree's Creamery now to be Bree's Sweets. Whoa, new branding. We'll talk about that a little bit more later. So I know that you said it was also kind of a COVID hobby for you. I know that a lot of us had different hobbies when that time came around, and I'm just glad that ice cream was one of the things for you because you actually, you do it very well. And I'm only saying that because I am an avid Bree's Creamery lover and supporter. So, how challenging was it when you just started learning how to make ice cream?
I think it's very hard to say because it was a very difficult process, and I feel like a lot of people don't know that. So what goes into making ice cream, there's a lot of steps, a lot of freezing because obviously you want it cold, but there's also a lot of cooking involved too. You don't realize how much goes into making ice cream until you actually do it. um, like you start with making your ice cream base, which you do have to cook because my recipe does call for eggs. So if you're allergic to eggs, I'm so sorry that you can't have my ice cream. But I mean, that is the how it goes when it comes to making this homemade kind of gourmet ice cream, I guess you could say. It does go into cooking, and then you go into the whole chilling process, and then you go into the whole churning process, and then you go freeze it. Unless you want to serve it as a soft serve, which you can do too, but it's kind of hard to serve it as a soft serve. If not, unless you're at my house and I just churned it, and then I will scoop ice cream for you. We could do that too. Um, we could do that too, but then I will go freeze it and make sure that everything is still in prime condition. So there's a lot of like meticulous steps and a lot of details that goes into making ice cream, and I did not know that when I first started trying to make it, and I was like, oh, this is a lot. But I made it. It turned out good. It tastes good. So here we are today.
So are you able to, I know that you kind of described the process of making ice cream, but are you able to show us what that looks like?
I won't, but I will at the same time because we do have a video, if Tech could play that for us, where I teach everyone how to make my homemade ice cream. So Tech, if we're ready, but if we're able to, if we can play that video to teach all the brethren how to make this ice cream at home or not, so you can keep buying ice cream from me.
How to make your favorite ice cream. To start us off, let's get our supplies ready and get all of our utensils. And we want to start with a nice medium-sized mixing bowl, a mixing spoon or spatula, a strainer, a whisk, a saucepan, some measuring cups, and most importantly, an ice cream churner. Let's head into our ingredients. I'm going to start with 1 1/4 cup of half and half, 4 egg yolks, half a cup of sugar, 1 1/4 cups of heavy whipping cream, a pinch of salt, and 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. With your half and half, you're going to want to heat that in your saucepan until it's barely simmering over a stovetop. While you are heating that up, combine your egg yolks and your sugar. You're going to want to use your whisk and continue to stir and whisk it until it reaches a nice creamy consistency or a pale yellow color. Once that is complete, you can add in your heated half and half with the help of another pair of hands and slowly incorporate it into your combined eggs mixture. Make sure to not pour it in completely to make sure that you don't end up with very sweet scrambled eggs. Once that is done, put the mixture back into the saucepan and you're going to heat it until it's slightly thickens. After doing so, you can go ahead and put that through a mesh strainer and back into your mixing bowl. This is just to ensure that no clumps get into our delicious homemade ice cream. Once you have that fully strained, you can put those things away, and you're going to continue to whisk the mixture and add in our heavy whipping cream, our vanilla extract, and our little pinch of salt. Once you have that all mixed, go ahead and cool that mixture in the freezer for 3 hours or in the fridge for 8, or even overnight if you prefer. Once the mixture is completely cool to the touch, you are then going to want to add your mixture into an ice cream churner. This will churn for about 20 to 25 minutes until your ice cream reaches a nice soft serve consistency. While waiting, why don't you tune into last week's broadcast of INCRadio Los Angeles on YouTube. And once you're done watching, and once your ice cream is completely ready, you can then serve this luxurious ice cream as a soft serve. Or if you prefer a little bit hardened, you can put it in the freezer for as long as you desire until it's ready to be served. And just after 20 to 25 minutes of churning, you have a nice soft serve consistency ice cream ready to eat on those nice scorching hot days or even those colder ones. I hope you enjoyed this recipe and enjoy your ice cream.
All right. Thank you again, Sister Bree, for that very informative video. I did have a question that popped up as we were watching it because it is very delicious and it is very early in the morning and I have not had breakfast yet. But what is the difference between soft serve and ice cream? Is it the same thing? I just wanted that.
That's such a good question. I believe it is just the way that it is served. So soft serve. So soft serve ice cream ideally is the one that comes right out from after like you churn it. Or typically you want to make sure that you can also freeze soft serve and it'll still be ice cream. It's still ice cream. Same thing, just different kind of texture from what I understand. I feel like that was not a very good answer, but that's all I know. I mean,
it makes a lot of sense. Like it is ice cream. It's just you did say that the difference would be just taking it or like eating it right after it's been churned compared to like freezing it for a little bit. So I think you're right. It is more of a texture thing. So you did answer the question correctly. Thank you for helping me with my curiosities. So let's go back again to the whole ice cream thing, of course, as we have been talking about. So what was the very first flavor that you did try to make? And was there a flavor that was that the same flavor that you were able to make successfully, or was it like different ones?
The first flavor I was able to make was the one in the video. I mean, that's not like the first time I ever made ice cream, not that video, but vanilla was the first flavor I made. I feel like that's the most basic ice cream flavor you can make. You just add like simple vanilla extract or even vanilla bean. I love a good vanilla bean into the ice cream because That's all you really have to do to change it from like a basic ice cream to making it an actual flavor, is just adding that flavor. So vanilla was very easy to make. From vanilla, I moved on to ube ice cream because there is also ube extract that I was able to find in stores, and I kind of found what worked in vanilla ice cream and reflected that to make my ube ice cream that is so popular that I can read in the live chat that everyone kind of wants it now. I'm so but yeah, that's like, I think that's my most popular flavor, and it came out nicely too after I made vanilla ice cream, and then it just kind of went to ube, so it was nice.
Did you have to, so like for the different flavored ice creams that you have, talking about ube, and it's also in the chat, we're going to get to a little bit, but everybody's talking about your pistachio ice cream as well. Did, like, for those flavors in particular, did they take multiple like or minor changes that you had to make depending on like what ingredient you were going to put in your ice cream, or was it like basically all the same, starting with vanilla and then moving on? How did that look?
A lot of the times I did start with just vanilla and then just kind of adding the flavor, but the way you add flavor, it really depends on what you're trying to add. So like for my chocolate ice cream, I have to add cocoa powder, and that involves more adding chocolate to the half and half that I have to heat up on the pot so that the chocolate does get incorporated into that flavor. I don't just add chocolate syrup to vanilla ice cream because that doesn't work that way. So that is one of them. And then for like my fruit flavors, it is my vanilla ice cream as the base to keep that flavor tone there, but as well as adding those fresh fruit. So that one was, I think, my most difficult process to figure out, as well as the pistachio. I kind of forgot about this pistachio. But the fruit ones, they were also quite tricky because originally I would make the vanilla ice cream and then I would mix in the strawberry puree that I would make like later on, but then it would freeze and it'd be very icy. So that was not very pleasant, but then I figured out the better ways to do it. And I add my fruits, my fruit add-ons while I'm churning the ice cream. So it turned out a lot better. So that one was the most difficult one that I had to figure out, as well as the pistachio. The pistachio, that one was that was tricky. That was so hard because nuts make nut butter, and you don't want nut butter in your ice cream. So then I had to make sure I kind of put the pistachio in a food processor, but not too much to the point where it made like pistachio butter. And then it's kind of the same. You would think of it as like the same as adding a powder to the half and half, kind of like what we do with cocoa powder. So then we take the fresh nuts, add it to the half and half. It sits a lot longer, so then the flavor stays a lot more prominent. And you make the ice cream. Those were the more difficult ones. So I'm glad you brought up pistachio because that one was difficult to make.
So I only bring it up because it will take us to our YouTube comments. So as we continue on with our broadcast, brethren, we would like to know what everyone's favorite ice cream flavor is. So my personal favorite is cookies and cream. And I think that's one of the requested flavors Sister Bree has. But I might change it now if I get to try this chocolate brownie situation that you have for Bree's Creamery. But it's okay. Well, you still have time to have me try it. But we will read a few of the YouTube comments that we do have. So the reason that I did bring up pistachio is because we do have that comment from my mom in the live chat. Hi, Mom. Thank you for watching and tuning in. I love you. And so let's continue to read some of our comments. So we have Ka Erwin Brillo. Good morning, LAC, and to all the brethren around the world. Happy watching po. The hello po to you, Ka Erwin. Our
assistant.
Thank you.
Minister.
Sorry. We also have Clea Stephan in the live chat. Good morning, LAC, tuning in from the local congregation of Santa Clarita. Can't wait to see how to make ice cream. We also have Sister Joy Andrade, who's joining us for our broadcast. Hello, po. Good morning to everyone for #SC. We do have Sister Mirabini Estrada. Good morning for #ER. And I did talk about my mom already. We also have Josie Quizon. Good morning for #ER. We have Arch Christian Rhoda. Happy watching everyone on INCRadio Los Angeles Satellite Studio. We have Val Morales. Good morning, LAC, tuning in from local congregation congregation of Pasadena. And then we also have Brother Edwin Estrada also tuning in. Good morning from #ER. Sister Bree, who else do we have in our live chats this morning?
I feel like I'm lost because I don't know where to start anymore because there's so many live chats today this morning. Phils, thank you so much. Make sure to continue to tell me what your favorite flavors are so that maybe I can potentially make it in the future. Sister Arian does say that she loves my brownie ice cream. That one was such a hit when I first made it, so you should all try it. Brother Cedric says this weekend is perfect for some ice cream. #Glendale. I do agree. It is very warm this week. Jason, give me a shout out because #SC. And then we have a few others. Brother Andrew Santa Monica. I know he's from Seattle. Oh, he has a whole list of favorite flavors. We have vanilla, mint, ube, and Rocky Road. I make good flavors of those as well. We have Ka Ejem, who's consistently saying #ER. So Eagle Rock is definitely in the chat today. And they're also sending their greetings to Sister Sophia Cuizon, whose birthday is, I believe, today. So happy birthday. Well, Sister Sophia, from what did I read that right? I'm pretty sure I read that right. And then we have Ka Andrew Makadang. He says Brees, Creamery, and Sweets. So I'll just combine the names together. I think we need to do a business meeting after this broadcast. And then #SFV, so for San Fernando Valley. And then I see a bunch of, favorite flavors here. So thank you so much, both, so that I can take this back with me to the kitchen. And we will start working on that. Kajun was also in our chat today. Thank you so much to our assistant district minister and our district minister as well for supporting our broadcast. Kajun said, a blessed day to all. Keep it up, INC Radio. And he said thank you to me, but I didn't want to say that out loud. Anyway, but we have so many comments from everyone within our district. We thank you so much. Oh, Riri wants ice cream for breakfast now. Anyway. But yeah, thank you so much for all your suggestions on the ice cream flavors. I feel like this is also one of the better ways for me to get all your favorite flavors so that now I can go work on that when I get back to the kitchen. Oh, there's so many comments. So I'm very excited to see and read all of them. Not right now, I'm so sorry. But after our broadcast, I will go back, reflect on them, and then take it.
Yeah, so Sister Bree, you and I will actually sit down and we'll write down all of the ice cream flavors that everybody said, and then we will workshop. And I'm saying we because now I am fully trying to get on board to be taste tester for all these things. So let's bring it back a little bit as we continue to discuss Bree's Creamery. So at what point did you realize that your ice cream was good enough to sell?
I think I touched upon this a bit earlier, but I did, like, during COVID. I mean, you didn't really get to talk to anyone, but for the few people that I was able to see, that's when I started really making ice cream during COVID. So then for a lot of the time during COVID, our worship services for our local were hosted from my house. So then a lot of the times the ministers would come here and then they would preach here. And to be honest, a lot of the target audience, or a lot of the audience that got my ice cream first, was our district's ministers and workers. So thank you to all of them for encouraging me to continue to sell this ice cream. Most especially thank you to Ka Oliver. He's not in our district anymore, but I'm very thankful to him because he was very encouraging to me making my business. He believed in me so strongly, and he knows me as Ice Cream Girl. So that's such a nice little endearment from him. So thank you so much, Ka Oliver, for that push to sell my ice cream. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. And so how did you decide on the flavors to do? Was it like requests that you had, or like materials that you had at home? Like, how did you decide what flavors you were going to do?
A lot of the times it was more like, oh, I really like this flavor, so I'm going to go make it. And then my original starting menu, it is just kind of the typical flavors you find in an ice cream shop. Of course, I want to be able to make sure that I know how to make the most basic flavors like chocolate, strawberry, vanilla, mint chocolate chip, cookies and cream, stuff like that. Make sure that those key flavors that you see in an ice cream shop are there and they have really great ingredients, and that you know that since I can make these simple recipes, that I can really have good product at the end of the day when we get to the more complicated flavors like a mango ice cream or like ube ice cream. So I started with the more basic ones first, and then I kind of brought in my menu once I get to know everyone's favorite flavors and know what everyone would want to see from Bree's Creamery.
Great. Thank you so much, Sister Bree. So we'll actually give you a little bit of a break for now as we will introduce our CWS for their CWS weather report. But, we're going to bring you back to your co-host seat now. So, Sister Bree, if you could please introduce our CWS for today's weather report.
Yes, I am very grateful that I get to segue into other people talking this time. So we are going into our CWS weather reports. We are going to start with the city of Pasadena. We have Sister Vale with us today to give us her weather report. Hello, Po.
Hello, Po.
Hi, thank you so much. Let us know what the weather is like in Pasadena today.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Currently, it's 9:32 a.m. and the weather here in Pasadena is hot and sunny with a high around 94 degrees. We had an early morning fog and currently clearing out. Winds will be light and tonight the skies will remain clear.
Stay hydrated, stay indoors, and avoid lighter cars, streets at all costs.
Reporting live for INCRadio Los Angeles Satellite Studio from the local congregation of Pasadena, we are Sister Valerie Morales and Sister
Leticia Morales,
bringing you more laughter, more fun, more LAC.
Wow, thank you so much. See, I love these because look, it brought us a nice cute duo today this morning where we got to learn more about the weather in Pasadena. So thank you so much, Sister Valerie and her sister. I am so bad at names. I'm so sorry, Sister. Let's see. Leticia. Ah, goodness. Okay. So I'm so sorry. But besides from that, I want to know if you guys have any shout outs. I'm so sorry. I will work on your names. I'm very bad at names, so bear with me. But thank you so much. If you have any shout outs for anyone, please let us know.
Hi to my Nana Lola and my family in the Philippines. Hi to my mama, my great grandma, mommy and papa in Manteca. And hi to all my brethren in the local of Pasadena. Thank you for.
Wow, thank you so much for your weather report from the two of you. I think that was one of my favorites. I have a lot of favorite CWS weather reports, so I think that one is up there. But of course, we are not just going to focus on the city of Pasadena. We have other cities within our district. So now we are going to the local congregation of Glendale with Brother Tate. Hi, Brother Tate.
Hello, Po. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Currently, it's 9:35 a.m., and the weather here in Glendale is sunny and warm with a temperature of 76 degrees. It's a perfect day to go to the beach, play, or stay home in the air condition on and eat popsicles all day and ice cream. Reporting live for INCRadio Los Angeles Satellite Studio. From the local congregation of Glendale, I am Brother T. Castro, bringing you more laughter, more fun, and more LAC.
Wow, thank you so much, Brother Tate. Now I feel so informed about Glendale and Pasadena. Man, I'm very excited that you guys have cooler weather than here in Santa Clarita. So good job for you guys. Before I let you go, Brother Tate, did you have any shout outs that you'd like to give? Any thank yous?
My mom, my dad, and my brother, and the local congregation of Glendale.
Well, thank you so much for your shout outs, and I'm pretty sure that they are watching right now, so they're very excited to see you on INCRadio. So thank you to our CWS weather reporters for today for letting us know what the weather is like in our district. Besides that, I guess we'll jump back into our topic before we close the show. Any other questions you have for me?
Yeah, I actually do have a lot more, but thank you again to our CWS weather reporters. Sister Bree, you and I were talking about the weather this morning, and I told you we were going to wait because we were going to listen to what the CWS weather report was for today. So I am actually kind of scared that it is 90 degrees out here. I'm not happy about that. But Brother Tate is right. We can have ice cream. It is the perfect weather to have ice cream. So let's go back. So we were talking about all of the flavors that you make, Sister Bree. Is there one flavor that is the most challenging for you to make?
I think just like anything, like the fruit ones, and definitely like anything that's like nut based. I haven't tried to make peanut butter ice cream yet. I know that was requested from me from like I think Brother Riley, but my sister is allergic to peanuts, so I've been kind of more wary on that one. But I did talk about like the pistachio. Um, I believe like the fruit ones are more difficult too. I think the most difficult one for me to make was like an avocado ice cream that I did because avocado ice cream is pretty popular amongst like especially like Filipinos. My mom really wanted to try it too. It's more difficult because the fruit itself is like more fatty than anything, so it's kind of it differs from a lot of my other ice creams because the base is very different. So that one, I think that one was the most difficult to make because I had to work around making it with avocados.
Are there any other flavors that you want to try that you haven't tried yet?
I definitely want to try more like fruit flavors. I have thought about going into making like sorbets. I love sorbets. They're a lot lighter, so then I feel less heavy after I ice cream. I love ice cream, but sorbets are also good. So I'd love to make some more sorbets.
I love that. Okay, so we are on to our last question for you, Sister Bree, so we can give you a little bit more of a break. But last question, what advice can you give to those who had just started learning to make ice cream, but maybe having a hard time and just thinking of giving up?
It's definitely a learning process. And I think that's for a lot of desserts. There's a lot of things that you have to learn to make properly. Like if you're making a choux pastry or you're trying to learn how to make a cake, there's a lot of steps that come into baking. And ice cream is another kind of dessert. It's another type of way to, you're not baking it per se, but it is something that you are considerably putting more effort into rather than cooking. So think of it as baking, just not directly. Baking versus cooking is such a more meticulous process. You want to make sure that you have your ingredients down to the right measurement because something slightly off can really throw off a cake, right? So all the more with ice cream. And there's a lot of steps that come with ice cream, and it's very daunting at first, even if you did not watch a video or do any research like I did, and then just attempt to make ice cream. There's a lot that goes into it. You want to make sure that your eggs aren't curdling. You want to make sure that the flavor is very prominent throughout the dish, and that when you churn it, you don't over churn or something like that. There's a lot of details that come into making desserts, and it can get daunting. But as long as you really go through each recipe that you're taking on, that you read each little detail, make sure that you have the right measurement. You don't have a tablespoon, but you have a teaspoon, something like that. Desserts can turn out very nicely. I think that's what I like about making desserts. They have such guided steps. So if you enjoy doing that, then ice cream and any other dessert, really, it'll be easy to make.
Thank you so much, Sister Bree, for all of your insights for Bree's Creamery. Now moving over to Bree's Sweets, we will talk about that a little bit. But we are getting to the last leg of our broadcast for today. But we do want to, as promised, give you the highlights of our Songs of Salvation and choral competition. If Kuya Tech can have that video ready, so that we can kind of go over what we had discussed from last week's topic, but also give space for those winners and all of the highlights from that date as well, because we love to relive it. So Kuya Tech, when you're ready with the CFO in action.
CFO in action. Last September 22, another much anticipated activity was held at the historic Alex Theater in Glendale, California. The Ecclesiastical District of Los Angeles County, California had an unforgettable night of praises through music as they held their Songs of Salvation A Cappella Edition, and LAC Choral Competition, which was participated by all local congregations from the district. Once again, the musical talents of the brethren was showcased as they sang songs of INC original music with and without musical accompaniment. This specific program was extra special because this was done not only to be united with the church administration, but also to commemorate the 15-year anniversary of the strong and dynamic leadership of our beloved executive minister, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo. The activity was opened by a special song titled One and All Sing Him Praise, sung by all the participants in the said event. It was followed by a very inspiring opening remarks by our district supervising minister, Brother Artemio T. Pilon Jr., as he formally opened the program. Each local congregation then sung their hearts out as the a cappella part of the activity started and was finished by the choral competition. Right before the winners have been announced, another grand finale song was performed by everyone as the song The Guardian of Our Faith was dedicated to our executive minister. The program was eventually concluded as the winners have been announced, and they are as follows. The local congregations of Pasadena and Monterey Park took home third place for the choral competition as they sang Bayan Mo'y Nagpupuri. The local congregation of Glendale bagged second place for their song Encourage God's Chosen Ones to be Obedient to His Will. And the local congregations of Los Angeles and Santa Monica were your 2024 LAC Choral Competition champions with their rendition of the song We Will Fully Submit to the Church Administration from God. For the a cappella competition, third place went to the local congregation of Northridge as they sang Our Father Will Be With Us. Second place was bagged by the local congregation of Los Angeles with their own version of the song Enlightened. And the defending champions and eventual winners was awarded to the local congregation of Oxnard that sang Everything is Possible. They will be representing the district of LAC in the upcoming regionals for Songs of Salvation or Himig ng Kaligtasan a cappella edition. Overall, this activity was a huge success as once again, the love for the brotherhood was showed by the brethren from the Ecclesiastical District of Los Angeles County, California.
Yes, thank you so much, Kuya Paul, for that CFO in action video and especially showing us that nice little clip at the end. I thought it was a nice little break from the video to show us some of the nice harmonies that were involved in Oxnard's winning performance for our Songs of Salvation. But with our CFO in action now complete, we have run out of time for today's broadcast. Thank you so much to all who tuned in today for today's broadcast. To all of our viewers, especially those who gave me ideas for ice cream flavors. Thank you so much. Well, and we have, of course, have some more thank yous that Ate Jaylin will now give to us.
Thank you again, Sister Bree, for being our guest and co-host for today. And we want to thank all the ministers and evangelical workers from the Ecclesiastical District of Los Angeles County, California. Brother Manly Andaya, our executive producer. Brother Andrew Macadangdang, our district multimedia advisor. Brother Pierre Perez, our district CFO overseer, our assistant district minister, Brother Erwin Brilio, and our district supervising minister, Brother Artemio Tipilon Jr. Kajun. A very special thank you to our SEPSI CEO and CFO coordinator, Brother Angelo Eranio V. Manalo, and to our most beloved executive minister, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo. We will see you all next week for more laughter, more fun, more LAC. Good
Thank
morning.
you so much, Bob.